We've always been surrounded by stories. We need them to be informed, entertained, thrilled, moved, and to identify with. In this day and age, defined by experts as the post-advertising era, the industry is pressured to tell better stories and adapt brand building to the new consumer with less time and attention. The importance of storytelling that invites consumers to become part of the experience is vital.
Stories are an organizing principle throughout human history. They remain so today. And what makes a good story, obviously, is it's got to be a story that the audience wants to be a part of in some fashion. And for brands, right, nothing could be better. Because what you want to do is tell the story of your brand in a way that your audience wants to join you. Your audience wants to become part of that brand.
And brands forget that. It's crazy. They forget that we all grew up sitting around a fire in a cave, sharing stories that would determine our destiny for the future. And that's what we have to do, is we have to create mini bonfires where stories come together, where people engage and they share experiences and share physical emotion. And that's how we try and manifest every experience. If we can get that physical engagement, then we've been successful.
I think that immersion is something that people have always wanted to do. They've always wanted to be immersed in stories that really matter to them.
People want to get down. The question has pretty much always been the same. What can brands do to get the attention of more consumers with their stories? It's long since been discovered that the idea of just trying to sell stuff in traditional ways is no longer an option. And so experience became the buzzword everywhere. Viral videos, installations, games, and even pranks came to be important tools of the marketing kit. And as the limits between advertising and entertainment became more and more blurry, a new and exciting way of marketing appeared. Its name was branded content.
But I think the core central definition of branded content is very simple. It is content created by a brand and owned by that brand.
Today on Market, we discover the ins and outs of this branded content idea. Get to know what it exactly implies. Which are the brands that are achieving their goals by using it? What are the risks and the advantages of what many people think is a new big step in marketing? Messages, messages, and more messages. We are exposed daily to an incredibly huge amount of data. It's impossible to process all the information we receive. That's why in a lot of industries, many rules are changing.
Well, clearly we're entering an entirely new age, one that is as different from the industrial age as the industrial age was from the agricultural age. And this causes a great deal of stress, a lot of anxiety. It causes us to re-examine our relationship with each other and certainly with technology. Forms of entertainment and storytelling and just media in general that we've taken for granted for the last 100 to 150 years are suddenly being upended. And people have to figure out how to deal with that.
We're in a period of information fatigue. You wake up to your phone, it's your device, you go to sleep with it. If you're not responding within 10 minutes, your idea was old and lame. And people are getting exhausted with that. It's really, really, really tiring. And so you've got to ensure that what you're you're coming up with works with those mediums in the right way.
And now all kinds of questions are being raised. People expect to interact with shows, with movies in ways that they never could before. And that's just because people like to inhabit stories. People like to immerse themselves in stories that really matter to them.
Of course, the marketing and advertising industries are no exceptions. For many analysts, traditional advertising agonizes, and it needs to be refounded, or at least relaunched in a way that considers all these changes. For the creatives, this poses an important challenge, but also presents a new landscape full of opportunities.
And it's an awesome industry, but you have to stay working hard and pedaling hard, because everything that you're doing is moving. The whole industry is changing every minute, and you've got to be really engaged and progressive.
One of the key things that's happening in not just in entertainment but in marketing in general, people are very, very media savvy these days. People don't want to hear advertising messages. They want to be entertained.
Advertising will never be the same. The changes in the ways that we communicate have created a whole new set of rules.
We're moving into a time where it's all about conversation. You have a conversation with your readers, as a newspaper reporter, say, as a columnist, as a writer of any sort. You're engaged in a conversation constantly. And it's a fundamentally different relationship.